Hi, welcome back to my
My
comfy.
comfy couch.
Hi,
Right.
stop, that is. Hi, welcome back to my comfy couch. This episode is about what men and women want. So pay attention, get your notepad out, take some notes, and watch our panelists of male and females talk about what the modern day single professional is looking for. Welcome back to my comfy couch. And today's episode, we're talking all about what men and women want. In the modern day, it seems like gender roles are out the window. Women are killing it in the workplace, and men are making their house a home. So, what can each gender bring to each other in this day and age? So, this is what this is all about. What does the modern day man and women want from each other? So welcome with me, my guest for today. I have Thaddeus, as always. Say hi, Thaddeus.
What's up, YouTube?
Say hi, Rosanna.
Hey.
And I've got Jeremy. Say hi.
What's going on?
Thank you all for being with me today. Okay, and as always, we're going to start with a game. Mentally stimulate me. We've got a question, okay? So I'm going to ask this question, and there's 4 answer choices. A couple moves in together. Who should pay the rent? A, the guy, no questions asked. B, 50-50 split. Same with all the bills. C, the guy should pay as much as he can and she handles what's left. Or D, it doesn't matter so long as it gets paid. Again, think about what your answer is going to be. If you guys are watching at home, write it in the chat. Again, a couple moves in, who should pay? Who should pay the rent? The guy, 50-50. The guy pay as much as he can and leave the rest for her. Or it doesn't matter as long as they get paid. All right. Let me hear from you, Rosanna. What do you think?
I think 50-50 is fair.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like right down to the middle split, but you put in your portion, I put in my portion, and I think that works better. That way everybody's paying the same thing and there's no I paying more, you paying less, it's fair on both sides.
Okay, so you say fair, right down the middle. What if one person makes more than the other? How about you, Thaddeus? What do you think?
Of course, I'm always going to have a different outlook, different perspective. For me, if I'm talking about me personally, or just what we should have in society.
Let's talk about you, because it's.
Oh, for me, I'm definitely not a 50.
What are you?
So I'm 100%.
Oh, so you're gonna pay all the bills?
All the bills, 100%.
Oh, ladies.
Don't ask me to wash no dishes. Don't ask me to cook. Don't ask me to do any of that stuff. I'm gonna pay all the bills. I'm gonna do all these things, and you're gonna take care of the rest.
Ooh, okay.
That's fair.
I'm sorry?
And I think what he says is fair too.
It's a trade-off, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a compromise.
Jeremy, how you feeling about this?
I'm with Wash because just how I am as far as me, I feel like I'll pay all of the rent. I'm sorry, that was a different answer. I'll pay like all of the rent and then we could probably 50-50 the bills.
Okay.
Or you know what I'm saying? So I would take care of all of the rent, but then on the bills we could 50-50.
Okay, so we got these men wanting to be, the primary financial in terms of the rent for both of them. Okay. For me, my answer was D, as long as it gets paid. I feel like both people put all the money in the pot and we pay the bills from the pot. I don't see that one side has to do it versus another. So that was my answer. It's kind of whatever works for that couple.
Sure.
Thank you all for answering. And again, if you're at home, write in the chat what you guys think right now. Okay, so we're going to get into it now. All righty. So this whole topic, again, as I stated before, nowadays things are so different, right? Before the gender roles, the man would provide, for the household. The woman would be at home cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. And that's totally changed right now. So as you personally, I gave you guys some homework to kind of think about personally, what could the opposite sex bring to your life? What is it that you're looking for from a partner right now? So I'm going to start with we'll start with the guys this time. Jeremy, What do you think? Tell me, what is it that you're looking for in a partner?
Me personally, what I'm looking for in a partner, like where I'm at right now, and like you said, how things are going right now, really is just be understanding, honest, loyal, supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like, be on me, be there for me, be my backbone, be there for me, be next to me, not behind me, not beneath me, not above me, but just be equal with me. So that's what I would need, from a spouse right now.
Okay, thank you for that. So we've got support, someone kind of being there, holding you down, supporting you. How about you, Thaddeus? What is it that you looking for in a mate, Thaddeus?
So for me, it's more of finding someone who's compatible with my life vision, somebody who wants to join forces with me. I don't really do like I answered this the question earlier. I don't really do the 50-50 thing. So I'm not looking for an equal. I'm not looking for any of that stuff. I'm not looking for help. What I'm looking for is somebody who's fit, who's feminine, who can bring some value to my life outside of just contributing financially. So you have to be able to take what I have going on and somehow make that better.
Yikes. Okay, so we got the fit, we got feminine, and making your life better somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can she do that?
For instance, the guy, he goes out, he kills the pig, he brings it home. She needs to fry up the bacon. And you are I am CEO and you're COO. You run the operation. But what I don't want is a COO. I mean the CEO and CEO. Like that is what I feel like most modern dating is about. CEO and CEO, and then they're trying to figure out why you can't get along. No, I'm looking for CEO, COO.
Operations.
COO.
Then, in terms of your roles.
100%.
But Jeremy, how do you feel about that? Because I know you said you wanted someone to kind of support what you're doing. If that was solely what she did, she was just supporting you. She didn't really, contribute financially as much, and she wasn't so much as, like you said, a CEO. Would you be okay with that? Her just kind of running the operations and you taking charge?
Not necessarily. Like, I still want you to be somewhat of a CEO in your own, in your own right. But at the same time, it goes both ways. But, you asked me what I want. But I feel like as a man, too, I'd be the same way. So I basically want what I would give to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would be supportive. And you have your thing going. I'm going to support you. I'm going to be there for you. But I would want that in return. So that's why I said that's what I would want. So I agree with Mark, though. There has to be some type of, but at the same time, what the day and age we're living in now, you got two CEOs. Just, we just got to learn how to work together, so to speak. But, I understand.
Thaddeus said it ain't working. That's what we're having this discussion, right?
But reason why?
Sorry?
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, as I was saying earlier, both people are killing it at work, and it's like, okay, when you come home, who is gonna support each other? Who is gonna hold the house down if we're both?
That makes sense, because, like, for instance, me, I might be traditional, but I am not. I'm not unrealistic. So if you're going to work 9 hours a day, I'm going to work 9 hours a day. I cannot come home and expect you to take care of the house. I can expect, oh well, you need to wash, you need to cook, and we are working the same amount of hours. No, that can't happen. So
that's why she's got to be in operations. Okay, what do you feel about this? Are you ready to be
a COO? Wow. Okay, well, it depends, it depends on what kind of deal or compromise that me and my partner comes up with. I know I'm a working woman. I have a career. I'm career driven and stuff like that. And if he's the same way, okay, cool. Let's agree to compromise. Let's come up with solutions so that way both sides win, Like, okay, if he makes more money than me, then I will be okay with working part-time. And while he makes full-time, I'll make the proper adjustments that I'll need to make, in order for us to work. Because like Saya said, both of us cannot be working all these crazy hours. And then you coming home and you have the kids, you have to cook. Like, that's unreasonable. That's not fair. You'll just tire yourself out. But I think what they're saying it's fair. It depends on the individual and what works for you. In my case, and looking for in a partner, I would like somebody a man that knows how to take charge, that know what he wants, that's capable of making, decisions, that, that alpha male type of personality, not no barbarian now, no, but that provider, that nurturing, that a man that knows what he wants, that's willing to grow as well. Both of us could rule the world together. He's working, I'm working. Let's build a mansion. Let's take over the world.
So you're looking for ambitious, someone with drive, take charge, a manly man.
Someone that nobody can. I have to say this though. I realize that in looking for all of that, time is going to be an issue. So, I want him to have time for me too. So that's something that we will have to work in at the same time. Because a working man that's career driven and ambitious, time gets given up a lot. It gets sacrificed a lot. So we will have to come to compromise and meet somewhere in the middle where, we would be able to have time for each other at the same time when we're trying to win.
That is so true. That is huge as well. So now that I heard from you guys, let's look at the results. I did a survey. I sent out a survey where I asked single professionals between the age of 25 and 45, what is it that you're looking for from the opposite sex? And I also asked them, what do you think they want from you? So now we're going to talk about those results to see if they kind of go along with what we're saying this far. And for those of you who are watching, to kind of get some insight into what the opposite sex is looking for, okay? So we asked men, what do you want? Okay? And they said, number one, what do you guys think was number one?
She gotta look good.
Beauty. Oh, one of the guys said beauty. Number one was loving / kind, affectionate. So that was number one. Almost all except one of our respondents used one of these words. They wanted a woman that was loving, kind, and affectionate. So all of that feminine energy, you guys giving them that loving, stay sweet. Number two, half of them said they wanted a woman that was attractive, which I thought was a low number. I thought it was going to be like 75% or more, but you'd be shocked. Only half of them actually mentioned beauty or attractiveness. And number three, guess what number three was?
What?
Rosanna, what do you think number three was?
I don't know. So
cooperative. Enjoys intimacy. That was number three.
That's a big one.
I'm sorry. So you know that, which was surprising to me, because no one said anything about cooking and cleaning and holding down the household. So that's to tell you that things have really changed now. Us as women, I think we grew up with our parents and our mothers, teaching us to cook and clean and all that. But these guys, none of them put that on here. So women, if you're out there and looking and thinking, what is it that men want? I know we've probably been raised to think that, but I want you to listen to this episode and really take it in, okay?
Cardi B said that she don't cook and she don't clean and she got the ring.
You didn't want that. So it's like, okay, well, Thaddeus said he wants the traditional. So maybe he's one of the few. What do you feel, Jeremy? If she doesn't cook, are you okay with that? If she's not like a chef?
I'm not okay with that. You gotta be in the kitchen somehow, somewhere.
Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Okay.
So but that's not gonna work though.
Why is that not gonna work?
Remember, if you're doing the 50-50 thing, then she's like, okay, so why can't you cook? You got hands.
I'll cook too though. That's the thing. I would get in the kitchen and cook too, but you got to be able to at least know how to do something. It can't just be like, all right, so we calling ourselves equal.
She's working and she's bringing home money. That's her contribution.
Yeah. So if she doesn't cook, it's a deal breaker.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say a deal breaker, but we would have to go into some type of training. Investment.
He's lying.
Okay. No, I said what is she sincerely?
Hold on.
Allow Jeremy
Hold
to
on.
lie.
I'm sorry.
No, like, not if she sincerely really doesn't know how to cook? Like, you will be able to teach her? Would you get like your mom to teach her if she wants to learn? Like, how would you?
Definitely.
Yes,
Okay,
he said yes.
that's good.
Okay, all right.
Definitely. You have to, because like I said,
That's
with the
good.
50-50, if I'm working the late hours this week, I
Mhm.
can't come home and, you know what I'm saying? So vice versa. If I'm the one, when you working late hours and I'm the one cooking and chefing up, and then you eating good, and then when it's my turn, I got to eat McDonald's. I got to stop at McDonald's on the way home.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, so you're okay with it if she doesn't have to cook all the time as her main job, but
right,
it would be good, she needs to contribute in that
right,
aspect as well.
right.
Okay, well,
Mhm.
okay, well, based on our respondents, it seems like it was not something really mentioned on there, but it looks like based on our discussion now, it's a plus, ladies. If you do it, you can bring that to the table, and that's something that's definitely going to help out, okay? Okay, so now let's go on the other side. Let's think about, so this is what women thought you guys wanted, okay? Number one answer was attractive. 13 out of my 19 ladies said you guys wanted someone that was attractive. So ladies, good job. You guys know that beauty means a lot, and we will talk about that in just a bit, okay? The next thing that we thought was going to be femininity, nurturer, caregiver. So most of the women thought that you guys wanted someone that was nurturing as well. You guys look for that? Someone that's like a caregiver?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well,
Jeremy.
like I said, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want long term or it's just short term. But if it's long term, then yes, you
Yeah,
Jeremy, you too, right?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then lastly, the third one they thought you guys wanted was loyal. Somebody who was loyal. So loyalty, it didn't get in the top three, over sex, being attractive and being feminine. But loyalty was in there. I saw a few loyalties in there as well. Okay, so now on the flip side, what women want. What do you guys think was number one? Rosanna, what do you think was number one?
Huh, what would I want? What thing was number one?
Anyone want to guess? What do you think women want for number one?
somebody who's probably assertive
Assertive?
or take charge.
Okay, you said assertive. Jeremy, you think that's number one, maybe? The
Yeah,
number
they
one
want a
answer
man.
was, sorry?
Yeah, they want a man.
A man. Number one was honest, loyal, trustworthy. Can you believe 14 out of the 19 women wanted somebody that they could trust? So that is huge, guys. Loyalty. Rosanna, as women, let's talk about that. Why do you think that was number one on there?
The way how men move these days.
Oh my.
Listen, the games that they be playing. Loyalty and trust is big. Like, just be honest. Just be honest from the get-go. Because I believe 99% of the time when women start dating, they already know what they want. They already know what the end game is for them. Whereas men, they don't know what they want yet. They're still trying to decide.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let her finish her comment first.
We do know what we want.
Let her finish her comment first. Go ahead.
When it comes to the end game, at the end of the day, women wants to get married, they want to have a family and stuff like that. That's most of their intentions with dating. But with men, their end game is usually not marriage, it's not having a family. They know what they want at the time. It could either be to get in your pants, it could either be a rebound, but the end game is never the same as the woman. So they need to be upfront and say, hey, this is what this is what I want. And just be honest and let the woman decide if she want to stay in that and pursue it or if she want to leave. I think it's that simple.
Okay, Thaddeus, you had something to say?
No, I was just
no? Okay. Jeremy, what do you think about that? Do you think guys are not being forthcoming with their intentions with women nowadays?
I believe that there's a big number of them that don't, so therefore it makes a lot of us seem that way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily believe that. This is just me. I don't necessarily believe it, but there's a large group of men or the number of men that do feel that way. So it makes all of us look that way. That's my viewpoint from it. So
I understand. Okay. All right. So loyalty is huge. Okay. So that was number one. Like I said, 14 out of the 19 women were like, let me just have somebody that I can trust. Right. And that's a huge thing too, because we're thinking even in marriage and long term, like we know so many women who are dealing with men that are cheating on them. So it's something that even when it gets to marriage, it's a concern. I think many women feel like their husband will cheat on them at least once in their marriage. Like, I don't think we're shocked when that happens anymore. So if you could just be that one that one person that just is really loyal, women would totally appreciate that. Jeremy, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say on that point is like, I feel like once you introduce that energy into the air, it's a possibility that can happen. But if you trust that man and you give him the opportunity to be, be who he really is, it may not happen. But if you have that energy in the air, I feel like it's a possibility that can happen, even though he may be a faithful dude, whatever, because that energy is already out. So it's like you questioning him now, where he at, what he doing, this, that, and the other. So he like, wait, what? All right, so let me go do that for real, since that's what you think. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, ladies, don't introduce the energy.
All right, ladies, you heard. Thank you, Jeremy, for getting that. So number 2 of what women want was hardworking / provider. So almost half of the women wanted that. So they want someone that's hardworking, someone that is a provider. And number 3 was someone, actually I had it tied for 3 things. Communicator, which was on there a bit, ambitious, and funny. So those were all kind of tied for 3rd place. So that's what women want, guys. So if you're thinking about it, someone who's loyal, someone who's hardworking and a provider, and if you're funny, a good communicator or ambitious, those are in there too. So this is what guys thought women wanted. Number 1, guys were spot on. Hardworking. So men thought the woman wanted someone that was hardworking. So you guys get kudos for that. Number 2, y'all think money, money, money. Somebody literally wrote money, 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 and more money as all 5 of their qualities that they thought women wanted. Okay? But I want you guys to know that only 2 of the women wrote wealthy or having money in their response. So out of these 19 women, only 2 of them mentioned money. So I want you guys to know that. I know that's something you think like we're just all, or a lot of us are out here for money. Only 2 of these women said that. So I want you to think about that, okay? And so we're going to go along those lines in terms of the general statements we hear. We hear women saying guys just want sex, and guys saying women just want our money. Let's talk about that right now. Guys, in terms of sex, because as I mentioned, sex was one of the top things. It was the 3rd thing. But my question to you is, if her sex isn't great, let's say she's got all these other things going on and her sex is not great and it's not consistent, is that a deal breaker for you guys? Jeremy, oh, he wants to go first. Jeremy? How important is sex to you?
Me personally, it's important. Now, if it's not that good, then like I said, we would have to go on a program or something. Where we could, not a program, but we would just have to work on.
Jeremy got everyone on the program.
No, but that's good.
Because, but like you said, if you meet all these other requirements,
right.
I mean, it's not a make a deal breaker for me. So I'm saying, if you meet all these other requirements, then I feel like, okay, we can work on things in that area just to, hey.
So you're willing to go through counseling on those? So basically what you're saying is
our counseling.
You're willing to, you're on her counseling. Okay. But you're willing to try and work it out before you walk away. That's basically what you said.
Yeah. Because if you're doing everything else, I mean, I'm not gonna you may be the perfect person for me and you meet every other requirement. And it's just we need to work on it, because I'm not perfect. I may be good in that area, but they're lacking something else.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Thaddeus? How important is sex to you? If her sex sucks, but she's got everything else going on, is it all right?
Since sex is to be after marriage, you won't find out until. in all seriousness, I think that marriage is, well, that would be my point anyway. I wouldn't be dating just to date. Like, if it's something that's leading towards marriage, sex is such a. I know people we tend to overvalue it, or we tend to put too much importance around it when it's just something that just lasts 5 minutes. I think that my entire life, my lineage, my peace at home, all of that is so much more important than that. So if she has everything else and she's, she sucks, I don't really have a program for her like that. But it's just something I say, well, you can't have everything, and we just leave it.
Right.
Okay, so it looks like both guys are kind of willing to work with that whole sex thing. So the girls, ladies out there thinking, okay, the guy just wants you for sex, sex, sex. You know, they actually have other things that they enjoy that we can bring to the table today, okay? And let's look at the other kind of statement that you hear, that women just want money. Rosanna, if a guy was not making as much money as you and was not as financially stable as you, do you think you'd give him a shot?
It depends on it depends on what he can do in other cases. Right. I mean, if he can compensate for other places, then of course, if he's hardworking, trying to pay the bills, he's at least trying, or you know, he's taking over some of the stuff in the house, like, you know, babe, I did this for you, I did that for you, da, da, da. Like he's home early and he took care of everything else, then sure. I mean, to me, marriage is a partnership at the end of the day. So where you fall short, I pick up. Where I fall short, you pick up. You know, like if he works part-time and he's home before me and the kids have homework and he took care of the kids' homework, he paid them, feed them, do whatever, and I come home late, that's great for me. I don't have to worry about that. I think that's perfect.
Yes, and I think so for me personally as well, because
Yeah.
women are really educated and doing, well in their career. So a lot of times you may have a guy who's not making as much or doesn't have as, much of a prestigious career as you do. And I think a lot of women are willing to take on a guy or be with a guy who may not be at their level financially, but can fulfill some of these other things as we spoke about that they wanted from men. So guys, that's another thing I wanted to mention as well about what women wanted. As I said, only 2 women mentioned money. They were really just concerned about you being hardworking, and being there and being loyal to us. Okay. All right. So, okay. Oh my God. This is the question. Y'all gonna be mad at me right now. Okay.
Right.
Are people delusional nowadays? Are people wanting from others what they do not possess themselves? As I've been talking to guys and they put women on these number scales, 10, she's all that. Are you a 5 looking for an 8? Are you staying in your lane?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
that's the huge discussion I want to have. Are we looking for the things that we possess? Yes, I'm looking at you.
That's a hard one. Yes, especially women, or what? Yeah, it is watching his videos, because men, we know, like Jeremy, what type of guy you are because you get rejected all the time, right? You go up to this hot 10, you try to hit on it, and she shut you down. You're like, all right, that's not my speed. My speed is more like a 7. We as men, we know what we could get. So
Right,
we have in our mind, we know what we are. Women, they all believe that they are 10s. and it boggles my mind because they really believe that. And so, like, when they're looking at guys, first of all, they think that guys are interested in the same values as they are. So when they're coming to a guy, they're bringing to you all of the wonderful things that they're looking for you. So they're like, hey, well, I'm educated and I make my own money. I'm like, hey, like, I don't care about any of that. Like, I don't care about any of it. Like, what I care about is that you're beautiful, that you bring some type of value to my life other than your piece of degree or the fact that you make money. Like, I don't need that. I got my own house, I got my own cars, I have everything. I don't need you to bring that. So when we're looking at the scale as far as like what you rank me and I rank you, like women are just, mostly women are crazy delusional.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Jeremy, are you seconding that? Do you feel that way? You can be real, okay? People, don't hit up the comments. Don't kill them or anything in the comments, okay?
I got one more thing to add. Sorry.
Okay, go. One more thing.
And the fact, how what adds to the delusion is, you will always hear women say that, is that well, I have guys in my DMs, or I have guys who want me, and they don't realize that, yeah, all these guys just want what? One thing from you. So this awesome guy who's a lawyer, and he is tall, he's handsome, he has a 6-pack, and he is, and he's showing you interest, and you know, well, you don't know, but everybody else know that, like, Miss, you like just average. You're nowhere near the level of that guy. However, because he's showing you interest, in your mind, you think, oh well, you know, I can get tens. Like, this guy's a 10 and I can get him. No, you can't, sweetie.
All right, thank you. Woo. All right, Jeremy.
Cut.
We know everybody else looking for his IP address now.
Oh, man.
I want to have these conversations. Like, we need to be
Right.
real. You
Right.
know, we need to be real. So, Jeremy,
I
What do
would
you
say this. I would say this. You know, I look at IG and I just sometimes I look at the women that's on there and, you know, the whole filter thing. And I think that's what, I wouldn't say delusional, but because of technology, it got a lot of them thinking that you really above than what you are. And but this is the thing. Wait, time out. Look, let me, no, hold on.
That's funny. And then when you show up, you're like, yo, could you bring your filter?
Pack it in the bag with you when you come, put it in the purse. But
I'm sorry.
sometimes it
Come on,
really
guys,
gets me
bring it in.
because
Sorry, Jeremy,
really,
what were you saying?
nah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
good. It just gets me because some of the women look good without it. You know what I'm saying? When you put on the filter, you thinking you so caught up in, oh, I guess we could call it the delusion, but you so caught up into, the filter that you look crazy. And then you boosting yourself, which is cool, but you making, like Washington said, you making your confidence so high, you think you can get a 10. And when you walk up to the 10 in real life, he looking at you like, like he said, no, ma'am, no, I'm cool with that. So I feel like the women just have to be real with themselves and just know, like, hey, be confident in yourself. You feel me? Don't get caught up in the whole all this and all that. Just be who you are, and then you'll see that you probably could really get the 10 because you really being who you are. He may not look at your looks completely, but because you're confident and you walking in who you really are, he may see that confidence and be like, you know what? I'm gonna give her a chance, or I may be interested in her, even though she coming at me out her league a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we need.
I love that. Thank you guys again for the honesty.
Giving them hope.
Stop. Okay, Rosanna, how do you feel about this? Do you think men or women or both are kind of being unrealistic in the things that they're looking for?
A lot of times. I think some of their standards are way too high when themselves are also having faults. I mean, there's a difference between having confidence but being arrogant.
Okay.
I can't say if it's more men or women. I think it's both sides that do it, you know?
Yes. And you guys ragged on the girls. Let's rag on the guys.
Oh, we can rag on the guys.
What's up,
guys?
Yeah.
Guys, they got a gut and everything else going on. Not even cute according to society standards. And they wanting these IG models and everything like this. So that's another thing too. These, as you see, attractiveness was number 2. And many of these guys are not the best looking or in shape, but they are not willing to accept women who look visually as they do. What about that?
So, like I said,
those guys are in the streets. Jenny, Nikki, don't forget those street guys.
Okay.
Those street guys, those hood dudes. With the
Exactly. Go ahead.
I said, attraction is usually not symmetrical between men and men. They look for different qualities.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say about the overweight guy, but the thing is, you have a guy and you know you make $10,000 a year, and you're trying to get this dime piece. Like, bro, like, nah, that ain't for you. Like, that's not for you. Also, on the unrealistic expectations, you have a guy and they're doing the 50-50 thing, but yet still he want to come home and feel like he's king of the castle. Like, he don't want to clean. I don't want to do dishes. Like, dishes is really, like, nah, bro. Like she said, like, humble yourself. You got to do dishes. Like, the same way how you go and come and work and come home and contribute to the bills, you better contribute to the housework. You can't come in there like, oh, I'm the man. I don't do housework. Oh, change pampers. Like, I'm not doing. Nah, you are doing it. Yeah, contributing to the bills, you can contribute to the household.
All right now.
So people rather than do it.
Yes.
I
So
agree
both
with that.
sides.
I
Sorry,
agree.
Jeremy, you have something to say?
No, I was just saying I agree with that too. Even on another side of it, with your hygiene as well. Look good, look presentable. Don't wear a belt and your pants still at your knees. But you want to, but you want to get a shorty, and you want to get a shorty who work in the top on the 27th floor of her building, corporate building, driving the Benz. But you coming to pick her up, or she come pick you up, and you walking outside holding your pants at your kneecaps with a belt on. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Cut your hair,
so,
look nice, smell good, put on cologne, all that. So that way it makes sense when it matches up with everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like I agree with him on that.
Yeah, so everybody, so ladies, when you after you're watching this and you look yourself in the mirror, I want you to have and guys too, I want you to have a real moment where you look at yourself and say, hey, where am I at? And not only in terms of physical, but your attributes as well too, right? In terms of, your job, your qualities, those kinds of things, and see, this is what I bring to the table. And is what I'm looking for equivalent to this? Have that real conversation with yourself, okay? And if it's not, level up or go down a bit, okay? In your pursuit, okay? So that's something I really want to get in everybody's mind, okay? So that was a good conversation on that. Yes.
Also, too, like even with the women, try not to overcompensate. Try not to do too much. Try not to sell yourself. There's a difference between being confident and carrying yourself a certain way and then trying to sell yourself. This is not being being on the streets. No, don't do that. Don't dress too revealing. Don't be dressed in provocatively. A lot of guys don't even like that. Just be confident in your own skin.
So that's a good, that brings us to a good discussion about like looks, right? I know attractiveness is a big thing, but like how the woman dresses, how she does her hair or her makeup and that kind of thing. Do you guys like the real provocative kind of look, or are you looking for something kind of a bit more classy?
Any guy who said that he does not like the provocative look is probably lying.
Okay.
Right? So the reason why women dress like that is to get attention. The problem is that like you like it, but you won't like it for you. That's not something that you want to have by your side. But you like it. I mean, I like to see it,
it's good to look at, but not for wifey.
Yeah. Definitely.
Jeremy, what do you?
It was at one point where I liked it, but then when I realized, like what she said, if you was my girl, I wouldn't be cool with you doing that. So once I realized that, it was like, give me something to kind of, what's the word? Admire or dream or fantasize about. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
use that for you.
Yeah, like, and even on the regular, as a single person. About this. You know
in terms of religion too, because I know a lot of us and a lot of people watching grew up in church and a religious space, and you see a lot of single women in church, and they're A, overweight, and B, they dress like grandmas. Am I right, guys? A lot of women, right? There's a big problem, especially in Black churches, right, of women being overweight. I looked at the statistics just overall in the US, about 40% of women, are overweight. So there's a lot of heavy women walking around here, right? And again, a lot of times in the church, you're trying to dress really saved and sanctified. So you look like a grandma. So the question is, guilty too? I put myself in there too, with the fact that the grandma, I'm working on it. But yeah, so let's have a talk about that. Because this is something we really need to talk about. I was in the grocery store one day, like years ago, and a guy walked up to me and said, "Hey, what church you go to?" I was like, "How do I go to church?" Just like a grandma. I'm not gonna lie.
It's so bad where you could actually tell what church they go to just by looking at them. I've done this where I've been like somewhere and you see this girl and you like, she gotta be like church like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Why it can't be her spirit?
Wait, what did you say?
And I said, why you gotta be the dressing though? Why it can't be just her presence or something.
No.
Why have to be the dressing?
That's why we're having these conversations, Rosanna, because he is a man, and that's one of the things that matters to him. So we do have to take that into consideration. If we have a man and we know that guys are visual and they care about how you look, that's something that we have to think about.
Right.
So guys, Jeremy, are you going to put her on a plan if she
Gotta get on the plan.
guys, if she's a virtuous woman?
Gotta get on the plan. There's a way. There's a way.
Jeremy, but do you feel what I'm saying though? Like, do women in the church really have that issue? You know?
I feel like the ones that are really into the church like that do have it, and I feel like there's a place. Like you can wear. There's a way you could still look good and still be saved and sanctified, but still be fashionable with it. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to just go X all the way over here and then be, nah, there's a way you could just put it in the line. Like, okay, I'm going to a restaurant. I'm not gonna have my mantella on with my long dress and my 2-inch heels on. I'm not gonna do that. There's a way I can put on a nice little dress and still have on my nice little heels and still look like I'm represent who I am. You know, I'm a believer, this and that, and still look good. So.
Okay, so that's the thing. I want women to do that. I want women, again, to look at their dress robe, ask someone, a guy that's close to you, and hopefully they'll be honest and say, hey, I watched this, My Comfy Couch, and it was talking about women in church or whatever looking like this. You know, really rank, you know, let me know how I'm looking. Am I looking like this? And try to get some fashion consultant, get on a program or something, because this is what men want, okay? And it's important to them. So please look at that. Now let's talk about the overweight thing. As I mentioned, 40% of women are overweight in the US, right? About.
Did you look at statistics for the Black women?
And Black women is even higher.
Way higher.
Higher than the average. Yes. So my question to you is, seeing that we're in this day and age now, do you guys have a problem with that? When you meet women, you find that you like some of them, but they're just overweight, so that's like a no-no for you? Thaddeus? Yes or no?
Do I have to answer?
Yes. Just say yes or no.
Okay.
Yes. Jeremy,
He said okay.
you too.
He said okay.
Is overweight a deal breaker? You meeting women and they are great in other aspects, but they're just too chubby.
I would be a hypocrite if I was to say no, because I have dated, you know, plus size before. But if you're willing to work on it and go on a plan, then we can make it work.
Because
so it's not a deal breaker, because I would be a hypocrite to say that, yeah, this and that, because I have, you know, but like I said,
would you do it today, sir?
Would I do it today? I wouldn't do it today. I wouldn't do it today.
You would or not?
Not today.
Not today. Okay,
No.
So we have both guys saying, and even the survey says, right, that guys want people that are attractive, but 40% of women are overweight. So my question is, are you guys willing to deal with it? If she is showing effort, that she's willing to go to the gym, willing to get on a meal plan, you see her actually trying, are you guys willing to still wifey her up? That's the question.
Yes.
Jeremy, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Thaddeus?
No.
No. Okay. Rosanna, what do you think about all of this?
Wow. Well, I mean, honestly, I really don't know what to say. I mean, it's a good thing with Jeremy that he's willing to work. Thaddeus, I don't know, he's in the old world by himself.
Yeah, that's reality, right? Is that's where we're at right now. So, and just like vice versa, on the flip side, if a guy, like we discussed, he isn't the provider, let's say he's not making as much money as you are, let's say he is not as spiritual, because women, we always kind of want like a spiritual head over us. What if you're more spiritual? You notice that a lot of the young guys are not in church, or they're not as spiritual as the women. Like, are we willing on our side to accept the guy that's not making as much money, not as ambitious, and not as spiritual as we are? Rosanna, how about that? Are you open?
And you see, that's where we at a disadvantage, because I feel like with guys, they're so visual and much more physical. I think the other side wouldn't really matter. Whereas with us, we're willing to accept all of that and forego, let me say that the attraction is not like that high of a scale than it is for guys. So I would be willing to accept a guy that has all of those more than if his attraction is below what I would want, like 100%. You know, I will be willing to compromise for that.
And he also seems like he'd be willing to compromise in terms of how much he makes, as you stated. And what about his spirituality? What if you were more spiritual than he was?
That is very important. I think he has to believe in God, that's for sure. If he doesn't believe in God, that's a deal breaker. I wouldn't even move forward with the conversation. So he has to have a good belief in God, have faith, at least, you know, have a doctrine that's close to mine. Because another thing is too, different denominations can pose a problem as well, from what I've learned and based on my studies. Because then what if you have kids and you disagree on what to teach them or how you want to raise them? Like, you have to be able to be in sync on that as well. So spirituality, doctrination, denomination, that's a really big thing. That's like way high above the scale.
Yes, thank you for saying that. So us sitting here on the panel, I have this show because I want us to actually start getting along, men and women. So what can we do? It seems like we're at a standstill, right? So many overweight people that aren't hitting the attractive scale, and so many, again, guys that might not be killing it as much as women financially and or spiritually. I guess that's just a question to put out in the air. It is what it is. Are you guys willing to deal with it or not, and actually use your strength to help the other person, right? If one side is better at something, it's all about kind of meeting in the middle and helping each other where we're weak at. So I guess that I just want to throw that out there as a discussion, because it is what it is right now. You know, do you just stay single, or are you willing to kind of help someone with your strength and let them help you as too? Did you have something to say?
No.
At the end of every show, I want to do, you know, a call to action. You know, is there anything based on our discussion, just based on the topic, based on the results we got from the survey, just, you know, anything that you guys think of that you would do differently or that you want to say to anybody who's watching? Go for it, please. Let's start with Jeremy.
Based off of what we spoke about, we learned a lot. You know, like you said, you did the polls and everything, and it's just us having our open discussion now about it. We kind of get inside of, you know, the male perspective and the female perspective of, you know, what we each other would want. But I think it's like Rosanna. I think Rosanna was saying, based on the couples, is like, you know, you wash my hand, I wash your hand type of thing. Like, where I drop the ball, do you pick up the ball in that area? For each individual, you know, relationship, it may fall different for everybody's different relationship. But in our relationship, can you pick up the ball in my area? Can I pick up the ball in your area where you slack? And I feel like whether it's from the overweight, whether it's religion, whether it's financially, you know, anything, like, can we balance each other out? I think at the very end of the day is, can we balance each other out, and can we see ourselves doing it forever? You know, like we're talking about, you know, marriage and being, you know, married one day. And I take marriage seriously, you know, with my situation, seeing marriage and you know, the way I seen marriage, it was very tainted. So I personally wanted to not do what I seen growing up, like being in a split home, seeing my dad getting married a couple of times, and, you know, my mom married twice. So it's like, I want to be able to say, okay, those lessons that I learned, I could figure out, okay, in this area, you slack, I could pick that up. In this area, I slack. Can you pick it up? If not, we need to separate ourselves. If we can, then we need to make it work and figure out a way to make it work. But conversations like this is what we need to hear now, so we can know, okay, when we go into a relationship or when you see somebody we're interested in, we can have these type of real conversations and sit down with each other and say, hey, nah, you overweight. Are you going to lose it? Because if not, I'm going to be out the door. Or are you going to cook me this and that and the other? You know what I'm saying? Those real conversations. Right. That way, we're not wasting each other's time. You could do what you want to do. I could do what I want to do. And I may find it may be somebody else out there for me or for you. So I just like, the real conversations is what really needs to be, you know, had right now. And that's just how I feel about it.
Thank you. I love what you and Rosanna said. Awesome. How about you, Thaddeus? Anything you want to leave with the audience or anything you kind of took from this discussion?
Quite a few things. Number one, just that men expect different things from women and women expect from men.
Oh, yeah.
So just know that the qualities that you want from a man, don't go in honing these qualities and then bringing them to him thinking that you're doing a good thing when he's not looking for those. Same thing for a man to a woman. Don't go honing on all these qualities that you think that a woman wants based on what you want from a woman. We both want different things, as we saw from the survey. So kind of just pay attention to those. Also, know what your limits are as far as like, well, what can you afford in the bid market? Yeah.
All right.
Because I would like to drive a Phantom, but I can't afford one. So then I don't go to the Phantom dealerships looking to buy a Phantom. My limit is, let's say, a Toyota. I have Toyota money, I'm gonna go buy a Toyota.
All right. It might be a hard pill to swallow for many, but come on. Come on now. Upgrade yourself. Okay. So thank you all for being on the show today. I love it. It's such a good conversation.
Thank you.
Keep having
Thank
those open
you for having me.
conversations. I'm sorry?
I said thank you for having me.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So let's give it up again for my guest, Rosanna.
Yay!
Jeremy. Thaddeus. We'll see you next time on My Comfy Couch. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of My Comfy Couch. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you were able to get some good takeaways. Don't forget to like, love, share, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment, and join in on the conversation. Take care. Toodles.